Hey guys, Quinn here. Welcome to the channel, ValhallaOutfitter.com. We don't sell watches, but I am a watch aficionado, so I like to review them when something comes through. Maybe it'll help you guys make a decision. This is the Seiko SPB451, kind of a continuation in the Prospex line of the reimagined 62 mass automatic self-dater. This is the one with the kind of divisive date window at the between the 4 and the 5. I've kind of come to not mind it so much. What I did kind of mind was the accuracy of this thing. It is running with the 3 hertz, 21,600 beats per hour. That diminished horsepower allows it to have 70 hours of power reserve, so on the face you'll see it says 3-day. The accuracy reports on these has been all over. I had the previous generation, SPB 143, which was even a broader accuracy range. This is rated at -15 to +25, which seems like a pretty big window, confidence interval on a watch that retails for over $1,000. I've just done some position testing for positional variance. Mine's doing better. On wrist, generally it's sub 15, plus 15 seconds a day. Face down, it's running +7. Face up, +6. Crown down, +5. Crown up, -12. And then 12 down, it's running at a perfect 0, which is kind of interesting. Enter the competition. Now this is the Marinemaster 300. Considerably more expensive from a retail standpoint. Comes in at over 2 times this one. This one I think is at $1,200 or $1,300, and this one lists for up at $2,800. They have released 3 other iterations of this. This is the latest release. There are 2 new colorways basically that have come out. Couple of differences between these. The Marinemaster, this is not depth rated to 300. It is no longer a monocoque or monoblock construction, so some people have groused about it not really being a Marinemaster, but maybe being a combination of Marinemaster with this 62 Moss reinterpretation that's kind of been in the marketplace. I'm not that divisive about it. I just thought I'd talk to you about the pros and cons of each and discuss if it is worth the additional money. Ultimately, the additional money question can only be answered by you. I would say when you get the feel for the vibe of these, that particularly given this aluminum bezel insert on the SPB, it generally feels like it is kind of following that, leaning into heritage. And then once you get to Marinemaster, if you notice the bezel here is steel and it's got some kind of coating which gives it a little bit more bling. Also, the bracelet on the SPB is entirely brushed, and the Marinemaster is introducing more polished elements. Also, the coin edge bezel is a little bit less pronounced on the SPB, both in terms of tactile, how you feel it, but also how it looks. It is pretty reserved, and there again a little more bling factor on the Marinemaster. The level of finishing is a bit higher. You notice like the chamfered edges have a little bit more angle to them, almost like a twisted lug feel from Omega. The bracelet does have elliptical links. However, I think the links are elliptical on this SPB as well, and they both have this kind of crappy clasp that we've come to know and despise from Seiko. That's one place where this thing could have really taken a step up. If they want to start to compete with some of the higher end models, they're approaching gray market pricing on Tudor watches here. I think it would behoove them to really consider the introduction at least of a quick adjust clasp. This has 2 micro adjustments. It is pin and collar construction insofar as how it's all linked together. It does look nice, but it does look a little bit blingy. In the particulars, both the cases are right about 40 millimeters. I think this one, the Marinemaster, might be 39 and a half. Lug to lug, the SPB, I believe, is maybe a half a millimeter shorter at 46.6, and the Marinemaster is 47. A big noticeable difference, and part of it is related to the movement, which we will get into. The movement on this is the 6R55. We talked about the accuracy, and the movement on the Marinemaster is the 6L37. They had the slimline 6L35 for a long time. The 37 designation just means that they've beefed it up to be compliant with the Prospex, particularly as far as shock resistance goes. Being a slimline movement, it allows them to pack it into the watch, and it lowers the thickness of the watch by over a millimeter. So now this is 12.3, which is much closer to, say, a Tudor Black Bay 58. This SPB is 13.4, kind of in the middle between the 12 and then the 14 and change that is the Omega Planet Ocean, for example. The couple sacrifices and benefits with the change in the movement. The 6R55 does give you 70 hours of power reserve. It goes down to about 45 on the Marinemaster, but that's because this is beating at 4 hertz. That translates to at least an advertised accuracy rating of -10 to +15, again, as opposed to -15 +25. I'm really interested to see if this does significantly better than that. I'm kind of a weenie when it comes to my accuracy. I'm only going to keep one of these watches. I got a really good deal on the Marinemaster. In terms of retail, if I had to pay retail for either of these watches, I'd probably just buy the SPB and be done with it. And then once I received it, I would look at its accuracy and positional variance and see if I could live with it. I just can't believe that in this day and age we're buying something over $1,000 and hope that by luck of the draw you get a good example. People do say, well, it's not hard to regulate, take it to a watchmaker and regulate it. Sure, you could do that, but should you have to go and regulate a watch that is brand new? That's kind of what chaps me a little bit. The SPB also has a little more water resistance, down to 300, whereas it is 200 on the Marinemaster. One thing you'll notice, I like the blue dial of this SPB. That's one of the large reasons that I bought it. There are multiple colorways available. There is a blue on blue in the Marinemaster. This one is a green-gray with a black bezel. Now they call this green water, I guess, or it doesn't quite sound as alluring as blue water, but it is like ocean at dusk, I guess. And I'll get you zoomed in so you can see the finishing on that dial face, kind of like teak planking going across, or kind of reminds me of a blocky, like a loose interpretation of maybe waves if you're looking over the ocean, the surface of the ocean. Pretty cool. It's pretty nice. Also, the new Marinemasters are equipped with this exhibition case back, if that is important to you. Let me get that camera in here a little bit and I'll put it on so you can see what it looks like on the wrist. My wrist is 6 3/4 inches, fluctuating up to 6.96 inches, depending on humidity, heat, environmental conditions. I took 3 links out of each side and then moved the micro adjust to the largest position, and it fits perfectly. There are aftermarket half links that you can buy if that you cannot get this thing to adjust from the factory. Let me put the light right on here one time so you can really see the face of this thing in the light. There you go. See that? It's kind of that planking that you get in there, right? And then you also can kind of see how shiny that steel bezel insert is as compared to the flat look of the aluminum. See, those are kind of the differences I was trying to point out. All brushed on the SPB kind of gives generally a more toolish vibe, whereas the introduction of polish, it's tastefully done there down the center of the bracelet, does increase the bling factor. The dial really is well done on this thing. It's very pretty, and it'll stand out. You wear this watch around, anybody who knows anything about watches or a logical history or Seiko will probably know what it is. and they'll probably know that you bought it because you like Seiko and the heritage and the history, and for no other reason. You're not out to impress anybody other than yourself in terms of just enjoying the watch you bought. There it is with the case. You can see it is machine finished inside of that exhibition case back. They did put a little printing on there, and I'm not sure why, if they want you to look at it. But this is the first Marinemaster where they have introduced an exhibition caseback. Does have a screw-down crown, obviously, and also when you're close up here, but it is not signed, nor is the SPB. When you're close up, you can really see what I was talking about with the pattern on that coin edge bezel, how pronounced it is. It does make it a little easier to grab, and it does give it a little more bling factor. Here are those smaller notches on the SPB. I'll let you hear what they sound like as well. They're both pretty easy to manipulate. Zero backplay. It's nice. Easy to spin, easy to set where you want. I think probably, even counting my Planet Ocean, I think right now Tudor may be making the best bezels in the business outside of maybe Rolex. And this one similarly. A little quieter. It's a little harder to start to spin. Feels really smooth though once you get it going. I don't know how much you time stuff with your bezel anyway, but I guess you fidget with it, right? If you choose to. Really a nice watch. Marinemaster, this is the SLJ 117. They have, I think, 4 other colorways to choose from. I don't know if it justifies the big jump in price from the SPB, but I will know a lot more after I do some accuracy testing, and I'll come back to you with those results. Hope this helped you make a decision. Kind of comparing apples and oranges here based on the big price difference between these two models. If there weren't aspects of the Marinemaster that I was just absolutely in love with, I'd be happy with that SPB and I may end up keeping it. However, like I said, I am a little bit obsessive about accuracy in my watches, so if this thing just blows that 6 R55 out of the water, then I'll keep this and send the other one down the trail. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Have a great day, and whatever is on your wrist, I hope you are enjoying it. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.